Good morning, good morning. I'm going to give y'all about 1 minute to join me, and then we're going to get started. Today we're talking about navigating the entrepreneurial journey from aspiring esthetician to business owner, to beauty business owner. While I'm actually giving y'all a moment to join, or giving others a moment to join, let me just be real transparent. I'm a homeschooling mom, so my son or my kids are here in the background. Every now and then I might have to redirect or just parent, so y'all please be patient with me. And I'm also, as usual, I am live on Facebook, Instagram, and we are recording for YouTube, so my eyes are going to move back and forth across the screen. Y'all are gonna have to forgive me for the glasses. I know I have the anti-blue light reflection, so you can kind of see the colors in my lens. Y'all have to forgive me for that. I've got to do what's best for my eyes. And honey, when I'm working on this computer, because that's where my notes are today, I need my eyeglasses on. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started. I told y'all we were shooting for 11 o'clock. It's 11:05. You know, life be lifing. But anywho, welcome everybody. My name is Jessica Fields. I'm the founder and owner of the J Fields co-brand. I am a licensed esthetician in the state of Texas. I've been crafting luxury skincare products since 2004. I have been successfully running my own spa here in Houston, Texas since 2019. So I teach and coach and mentor aspiring estheticians and beginning estheticians on how to become profitable from day one. Everybody's always talking about making six figures. Well, in order to make six figures, you've got to learn how to make your first sale. And I want to show you how to do that. So again, today we're talking about navigating the entrepreneurial journey. You're going to start from aspiring esthetician to being a full-fledged beauty business owner. So I've welcomed you all. I've told you who I am. I want to talk to you really quickly about the importance of cultivating an entrepreneurial mindset. Being an entrepreneur absolutely is a mindset. It starts here in the mind, because there are a lot of ways that we think as consumers. So meaning we're going to go and purchase from another business that is very different the way our mind needs to work as a business owner. And you need to constantly be pouring into yourself, so you're cultivating that entrepreneurial mindset, because that is going to play a part in how you run and operate your business. Please be quiet while we're working, guys. The benefits of entrepreneurship. Two of the biggest things that I get all the time, even that I was really excited about, is independence. You get to work when you want to work, take off when you want to take off. You didn't have to ask somebody for time off. You got to attend family functions, do things with your children. Independence. Creative freedom. I know my passion is crafting skincare products. So that's creating a recipe, playing with the scents, playing with the ingredients, trying them on myself, trying them on friends and family, getting feedback, and tweaking the recipe again. That's allowing my creative freedom to run. If I were working in Hand and Stone, Massage Envy, what's the wax place? The name is escaping me. But if I were working in a place like that, they would not allow me creative freedom to go in and create products to put on their client's skin. Not unless I was hired in that capacity. But just as an esthetician, that's not something I would be able to do. So those are two major benefits of being an entrepreneur. Now, with that also comes, some may say, a con. With that independence of getting to choose when you take off, you also have to choose when to work. And there are a lot of times when you might be tired physically, mentally, and all the above, and you just don't want to work, but there's still work that needs to be done, especially as the CEO of your business, as the one where the buck lies with you. There's still work that needs to be done. So if you run a full-fledged spa where you've got several treatment rooms and you got 20 clients that need to be seen in one day, you alone cannot do it. So you have to hire in help. But say somebody calls in, you as the business owner need to find someone to fill that spot, or you need to get on the phone with those clients and reschedule them. So along with that independence comes more work. So you, as the business owner, you need to keep that in mind as well. I want to tell y'all, I want to just in encourage you as an aspiring esthetician or as a beginning esthetician to really embrace the entrepreneurial spirit. There are lots of books that I've recommended. You actually can look at them on the jessicafills.com. There's a resource tab at the top, and I recommend books, software, and equipment that I've actually used or currently use in my business that you guys should be reading and using, and it will help you embrace that entrepreneurial spirit. Now, I want to talk to you next about overcoming fears and concerns. A lot of times when we're getting ready to step out into a business, we can be fearful. And I want to say probably, at least for myself, when I first started, the very number one fear I had was money. The fear of financial instability. I was thinking, okay, when I started the skincare side of my business first, and then I became an esthetician. I had to put some money into the business. I had to buy bottles. Now, I could obviously buy individual bottles at Hobby Lobby, because that is actually what I did. When I first ordered or created my recipes, I then went and packaged them up, and I needed to sell them or give them up to my friends and family for feedback. I needed something to store them in my own house. So I went to Hobby Lobby and I bought bottles from them. The bottles at Hobby Lobby are $2 a piece, $3 a piece, maybe $1 if you catch them on a really great clearance or sale. Now, when you're just starting out, you're thinking, oh, that's not expensive. You know, I can buy 10 bottles for $30. Sure. But once you start really selling products and you're trying to maintain a certain profit level, $3 a bottle is extremely high and is going to significantly eat into your financial costs. So that was something I was afraid of, how much money I had to invest in the beginning to start the skincare side of my business. And then when I got ready to start the spa side of my business, I needed a facility to operate out of. Now, when I first started out, I was terrified to sign a lease somewhere. I was thinking, okay, you're going to go and sign a minimum of 1 year, because that's all I would do was 1 year. But now I understand in business, you want to sign 2-year, 3-year, 5-year, sometimes 10-year leases, depending on where you are in your business. Sorry, y'all. Depending on where you are in your business, you need to possibly sign a longer lease. So that was my biggest fear. I was afraid how much money I had to invest up front. Now, if I have to invest all this money up front, am I going to have enough money to then still support my household? Because in 2004, I had just graduated high school. So my household was just myself. As time progressed, I got married. So that's my husband and myself. Time progressed, I had a son. So it was my husband, my son, and myself. Now today, I'm divorced. So it's myself and my son. Still a household. I still have to cover the mortgage on this house, the lights, the water, the gas, the Wi-Fi, and all the other special perks that we need. Hey, thank you for joining me. So I still need to be able to bring in money consistently every month so that I can take care of all those things. So fear of financial instability is a big one. And you overcome this fear by diversifying your income, not solely relying on one way or one stream of income. And you do this by having multiple streams. Now, I want to just tell y'all really quickly, as estheticians, number one, we always think, okay, we're going to offer services. We're going to do facials, we're going to do waxing, we're going to do lashes, we're going to do body treatments, yoni steam, whatever the case may be. That's a service. When you do services only, you're capped at how many people you can take care of at a time, how many people you can see in a day before your body has had it. So you want to incorporate retail, but as an esthetician, you're still not trying to focus just on services and retail. You want to add in other streams of income, and you can continue to overcome the challenge of fear of financial instability by properly budgeting in your business, by expense planning. This is something I actually specifically broke down in my September masterclass for my coaching clients. So it's in my group coaching. If you go to thejessicafills.com, there's a group coaching option. And in there, every month we do a live masterclass. And in that month of September, we talked about multiple streams of income for estheticians. I give you several options and I really break it down. Y'all, just a minute. What's the problem? No. Focus on your work right here, please. I'm not going to be long. So that's the first one, overcoming the fear of financial instability. The second option or second concern is business management. In aesthetic school, we typically are not taught how to run a business. We're taught skills. We're taught how to do wax, how to do a facial, how to do certain body treatments, how to do a facial massage. We're taught specific skills. But if you're going to be a beauty business owner, then you need to learn business management. Now, back in the day, they used to say you need to create, this huge intensive business plan. You don't have to do that today. You actually can get a very simple document that just includes your business goals, your target market, services that you want to offer, your pricing points, your pricing strategy. And I'm stressing that because those are very, very important. Your marketing strategies and your financial projections. This is going to be how you know your business is going to operate. And it's a living document. So that means you need to constantly be looking at it and adjusting it as needed. Now, if you are weak in the area of business management, you don't know how to create this living document, then you need to seek help and guidance. As the business owner, that's what we have to realize. If we're weak in an area, let's go get some help. If we're strong in an area, sure, let's do it. But as the CEO, the business owner, we want to focus on the money-making tasks that only we can complete. If it's something that we're weak in, it's something that we don't have to complete, let's outsource that. Let's use our time wisely. The next thing I want to talk about is regulations and compliance. This is another fear and concern of a lot of aspiring estheticians and new estheticians. You're trying to figure out what can you do and how you can do it. You need to closely monitor your state's rules and regulations because you are responsible for working within your scope. And I'm going to give y'all a great example. In the state of Texas, I'm under the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation. So we call it TDLR. When I was in aesthetic school in 2018, I was allowed to dermaplane just as a regular esthetician, nobody else in my practice. I was also allowed to microneedle, which is like it looks like a little pen, but on the end it has lots of sharp needles and you are pressing it into the skin. And for quick definition, you're causing a trauma into the skin so the skin will then rejuvenate and rebuild its cells. Really good for scarring, dark marks, hyperpigmentation, things like that. Fabulous. So those were 3 things I was allowed to do. Two things, dermaplane and microneedling. I was not taught how to do those things in an aesthetic school, but they told us about people who would teach those classes outside of school. So I paid for them. I graduated in 2019 and opened my business right away. Guess what TDLR did in 2019? They pulled those out of my scope. I was no longer allowed to offer those as a practice by myself. Now, if I worked under a medical doctor or some sort of medical practitioner, sure, I could still offer those services. But as a solo practitioner, a solo esthetician, that's not something I was allowed to do. If I continue to offer those services and I hurt somebody and they sue me, my insurance is not going to cover it because I was working outside of my scope. Bless you. If somebody calls TDLR and says she's doing something outside of her scope and they show up to my place of business and see me advertising it and see me offering it, they're going to fine me. After they fine me, they have a right to revoke my license, which means I can never practice again. So saying, I didn't know they changed the rules, doesn't work. I didn't know I needed a license, doesn't work. You are responsible for working within your scope. So following your state's rules and regulations is going to be highly imperative. Now, at least with Texas, I'm hoping at most states it's also an option. You should be able to go to whoever the entity is and sign up on their list. Normally, when you apply for a license and you get the license, you automatically are notified when they have meetings. You're notified when there are changes in the rules, meaning allowing you to do something and no longer allowing you to do something. When you get those emails, open them up, read them, attend those meetings. In Texas, our meetings are held in Austin, but they have them virtually. I'm here in Houston, so I don't have to physically go. I can watch the meetings online. I can read the meeting minutes. I can get a catch up on what's going on, so I always know what I can and what I cannot practice. So I want to encourage y'all to do the same thing. Now, let's keep going. Starting your aesthetics business. Now, I'm going to give y'all a few points. These are in no particular order. These are just key steps that need to be taken care of or addressed. Obviously, if you're going to be a licensed esthetician, you have to go to school. You have to get the skills that are required by your state, and you have to apply for licensing. Each state is different. When I was in school, I think my hours, I needed like 1,500 hours or something. But now, if I'm not mistaken, you only need 1,000 hours. And since COVID, if I'm not mistaken, there are a lot of options where you can do classes online. I don't recommend solely doing online classes because as an esthetician, you need to get your hands in on actual clients and trying out. And it's best when your instructor is kind of standing behind you and they can guide you. So going to school, getting the skills required by your state, and applying for your licensing. Here in Houston, I didn't actually have to go to Austin to take my test. They had locations in Houston, but the times filled really well in advance. So I had to plan in advance, and I had to bring somebody with me to be my tester. I had to actually work on a person. And it's not a relaxing facial. I had to do a cold facial, meaning my towels were cold, random products. I didn't get to have water in the bowl. Depending on what state you're in, they're going to give you all the information you need to prepare for your licensing test. So that's what you just need to figure that out. You need to do that research because, again, you're responsible. The I didn't know I needed a license is not going to fly. Don't chance getting a fee and having a license revoked if you already have one, or if you don't have one, don't make them blackball you or blacklist you, which means put you in their system and they say this person was practicing without a license, they did these types of procedures, they may never apply for a license in this state. Play with them if you want to. They're very, very serious about it. So the next thing I want to recommend, are we writing notes? Are we working?
We're working.
Joshua, stop writing notes. Excuse me?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay. Form your business. Seek the advice of an accountant and a lawyer. Are you going to be a sole proprietor? Are you going to be an LLC? Are you going to be a c-corp? Are you going to be an s-corp? I'm not going to tell you which one you should do, which one you should not do. I am not a sole proprietor. My business is a legitimate company. I recommend you sit down with an accountant and a lawyer. You can do them individually meetings or you can do them together. But they're going to ask you what are your goals, and they'll make recommendations to move you in that direction. For example, if you tell them I'm looking to build a business that's going to sell in 10 years, they're going to tell you which kind of business you need to have. Excuse me. They're going to tell you if it needs to be a sole proprietor, if it needs to be a corporation, or a limited liability corporation. Excuse me. If you say I'm looking to build a family business that's going to be passed on from generation to generation, and I want to set it up to where it can't be bought out, or if somebody gets married, the husband isn't going to lose it, they're going to tell you how to set up the business so that it stays within the family. But this is why you're going to seek professional advice from an accountant or lawyer so that they can directly guide you on the steps you need to take so you can move in that direction. Another key step you need to do is to set up a physical and or an online space. I recommend both. If you're going to do skincare, you can just do online. Or if you're going to just do retail, then you can just do online. But if you're going to be offering services, I recommend you have a physical space and an online space. A physical space is where you're going to go and do your services. Yes, mobile services are still an option, but they are a pain in the butt for you. Packing up all your stuff, your equipment, your supplies. You have to drive to that client. You have to have time to set up fully to give them the full experience, provide the service, break down the area, put their home, place of business, or wherever you're providing that service back to the way it was before you left, load your vehicle back up, fight traffic to get back to wherever your normal place of business or home is. So offering mobile services is definitely an option, especially for someone just starting out, someone transitioning into another facility. But there are a lot of costs that need to be counted when you're doing it that way. So I recommend if you're offering services that you set up a physical location and an online location. Another key step. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me say this real quick. If y'all have questions, just drop them down in the question box and I'm going to answer them at the end. Okay, so the next key step, sourcing your products, your equipment, and your software. I recommend you attend trade shows. I attend ICES, which is the International Congress of Aesthetics. I believe so. I go to the one in Dallas every year. I said in 2024, I'm going to venture out and go a little bit further. I'm going to do Dallas and some other location, Vegas, Florida, or LA. They do them all over. The classes and the businesses that attend are usually different. Now, the big name brands are going to be at all the shows. For example, Face Reality. I'm a Face Reality acne specialist. I love them. Their products are fantastic. Their trainings are phenomenal. They attended their first event this year. I got a chance to sit down in a very intimate meeting with the CEO, and they talked to us. They got feedback from us. At trade shows like this, those are the kind of things you'll be able to do. You'll also get the chance to try out products. You'll get the chance to learn techniques. For example, this year when I went in June, I was exposed to a new wax brand, and they did a full Brazilian wax. So I learned some new techniques to implement with my clients, and I got exposed to their wax. I actually really liked it, and it's now one of the options I use with waxing. But that's how you go and you learn about products, equipment, and even software. There are all sorts of businesses. And once your business gets high enough, if you decide to offer retail and you want to offer it to other estheticians, trade shows are a great place to go and market your own business. So another key step is insurance. Whether you are providing services or selling products, you need proper insurance. If you go to thejessicafields.com on the resource page, I actually make a few recommendations. Again, insurance companies that I've used or I currently use. Set up business bank accounts. Remember I told y'all to work with an accountant or a lawyer to determine the proper business. After you determine the proper business type, go create business accounts that link with that. For example, sole proprietor just means you're operating as an SBA, small business. It could be as your name or not. If you do that, you just need a form from the county and you go to the bank, you open up this account. That's tricky because sole proprietors, there's no separation between you and your business. So if your business has a debt, you have a debt. If you have a debt, your business has a debt. If you have a debt, somebody can come after your business to pay said debt. But if you have an LLC, a c-corp, or an s-corp, you go and file paperwork formally, then you take those forms and you go to the bank and you create accounts that way. There's separation between the two. So the assets and the liabilities are separate from your personal assets and personal liabilities. So set up bank accounts so that when you are collecting money from clients, it's going directly into your business accounts, not into your personal accounts. This is going to be highly helpful when it's tax time. Your accountant is going to love you for it. Another key step is defining your services. You really do need to niche down. Are you going to offer facials, waxing, makeup application, skincare consultations? The list can go on and on and on. But decide what you're going to offer. Then you need to determine your pricing strategy. You want to consider factors like your competition, where are you located, and the cost of your supplies, your overhead. You need to figure out the bare minimum it costs you to provide a service, the bare minimum it costs you to offer a product, and then you want to increase that. That is how you're going to be able to sustain your business and your life. Because remember, that was one of the fears and concerns is financial instability. If I know bare minimum it costs me $89.63 to provide a facial in my spa, I'm never going to charge less than $89.63 because I'm not going to break even. I'm going to go into the red every month. But if I know I want to bring home $60,000 or $100,000 every year, I need to be charging that $89.63, and I need to charge $100 on top of that. So then I know my service never needs to be less than $189.63. Now that's an odd number. So let's say you round it up. You can say my facials are $200. Even better. So now you know you're going to cover your overhead costs, you're going to cover the cost of the equipment, you're going to cover the cost of supplies, and you're going to be able to pay yourself a comparable salary. So that's all the information that you need to determine up front so that way as soon as you go in, you're not going to get burnt out or run yourself into debt and then you're not able to keep your business open long. So those are some key steps that you need to take when you're starting your aesthetics business. I want to give y'all a couple of strategies for business growth once you actually get started. Effective marketing and branding is so important because it increases the visibility and awareness. It helps you attract new clients. It helps you build credibility. It helps you build trust. It helps you build customer loyalty. It also helps you do client retention, which is something I broke down in depth last week. Every day I came on and I dropped some information on how to retain clients. I gave you a different strategy. Some days I gave you 2 or 3. I also created a client retention guide. I think it's like 40 pages of additional strategies that I didn't share on social media. So if you're interested in that, click the link in the bio and get access to it instantly. It is a phenomenal guide on how to retain clients. And that's something that's highly important to aspiring esthetician and beginning estheticians, When you're first starting out and you finally get that client in the door, you want to figure out how to keep them because you don't want to keep working and spending money to get new clients. That's not how you're going to build a business. Okay, and another strategy for business growth are creating opportunities for expansion. Marketing and branding also does that. It creates opportunities for expansion. Marketing is going to be creating a plan to build initial awareness, to put somebody in a funnel. It means you're telling everybody about your business. They go on the top of a funnel. They get to know you. You build your they trust you. They get to know you, and they're falling further and further into the funnel. By the time they get to the bottom of the funnel, they should be paying for your services and not necessarily your intro products. I'm talking more costly products. So that's what marketing is going to do. Branding is going to be how people identify your business, meaning customer service is always top notch at J. Fields Co. Always. So no matter what service they get, they know they're going to come in, they're going to be treated like a king or a queen. My skincare products work. They smell good. They know as soon as they come and they get one, the products are going to be the same each time and every time. They're going to work, they're going to smell good, and they're not going to cost an arm and a leg. Are you finished with your work, baby? Turn it off.
I'm on 57, and it's pretty hard.
That's okay. So you can finish that problem and you can be done. Joshua, how are you looking on your work?
49.
Okay, finish that problem and you can be done as well. I will give everybody a 15-minute break and then we'll move into lunch.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Okay, guys, thank y'all so much for your patience. I told you. Homeschooling. Thank you for your patience. I'm still doing a live. If you're going to talk, you need to go in another room. Thank you. Okay, so those are some quick strategies for business growth. Let me back up. I actually didn't finish my thought on branding. Branding is how people are going to identify your business. When you think of Target, you think of that red and white Target. You think of Starbucks, you think of that green and white lady on the logo. When you go to Chick-fil-A, you know they're going to tell you my pleasure. Branding. Those are all branding trademarks of those businesses, and you don't forget them. So you want to make sure when you're starting out your business, you're creating branding that's unforgettable. You figure out what that little moniker needs to be, but you need to figure something out and stick with it. So when people see or come in contact with your business, they remember it. Now, winding it down, I want to leave y'all with this. Being an entrepreneur can be so rewarding. I told y'all I've been doing it since 2004. But I want you to understand it is hard work, very much hard work. And I don't recommend the entrepreneurial journey for everybody. Before you get into it, I recommend you evaluate the costs. If you want to see some behind the scenes, you guys can follow my page. You can follow my spa page, J. Fields Co. Or you can follow this page, Jessica Fields Aesthetics Coaching. And you can see some of the behind the scenes of my spa and behind the scenes of the entrepreneurial journey. If you want to see other behind the scenes, you guys can go and get a job at somebody's spa. Hand and Stone, Massage Envy, Wax Envy, that it? Wax Connections. Go to those places and get a job. Now, I don't recommend you going there and tell them I'm looking to start my own spa, so I'm going to come in here and learn all your secrets so I can go and use them against you. Don't go in there and do that. You can just say, I went to school here, I would like to be an esthetician. And don't go in with the goal, I'm going to work 6 months and then get out. Because this is going to cost that business more money to train you than it is for anything. And you want to keep that in mind too, because you wouldn't want somebody to do you that way. But I'm just saying, working in that industry is another way to learn the industry. Now, I also actually have a book in my digital store. It's called 12 Ways to Build a Beauty Business. And I give you some more behind the scenes. So if you don't have the bandwidth, you don't want to go work for somebody else, you can grab this book. I go over business planning, profit planning, growth plan, marketing, budgeting, what else? Hiring a team, raising capital, and there are some other things. Y'all are too loud. I go over some other things. Again, another instant download. Go to thejessicafields.com, shop digital classes and courses, and you can get that. It's a great book. Actually, if you are in my group coaching program, I give you that book completely complimentary. So if you're going to join the group coaching, don't go download it because you're going to get it. But if you're like, I'm not ready for group coaching yet, but I want to learn more about the behind the scenes, go grab that book then. It's going to give you some great information. But again, I just want to tell y'all how much work this can be, but how rewarding it can be. And I want you all to just really think about it before you step into it. But I don't want to discourage you because, again, it can be so rewarding. Remember that freedom I talked about in the beginning? That independence, the right to go and be creative in your business without having to run it by somebody else and get approval from somebody else? That all falls in line with being your own boss. Sorry about that, y'all. Okay, so I want to check really quickly, see if we have any questions. Let's see. Okay, I don't see any questions on Facebook. And no questions on Instagram. YouTube, if you guys have questions, drop them in the comments, and myself or someone on my team will come back and answer those for you. I want y'all to catch me next Monday, because I know on this page, my goal is to go live on Mondays. But yesterday was a personal day for me. I had some family things to take care of. But join me next Monday, and I'm going to be talking about self-care and a work-life balance for estheticians. I know I've been kind of hitting some different topics. These are topics that you guys have requested, so thank you. And if there's something in particular you guys want to know, DM me or comment on any of my videos, and then I can break that down for you. But for my aspiring estheticians and beginning estheticians, I know sometimes we get excited and we jump in the business head first, and then we get burnt out really, really quickly. I did that when I first started, and I don't want y'all to do that. So next week, I'm going to talk about some self-care and a work-life balance to avoid burnout for my estheticians. And we're going to shoot for Monday at 11 a.m. again. Next thing I want to tell you about is the J. Phil's Co. Luxe Spa Party. It is coming up in 20 days, and I'm so excited about it. Finalizing some little things, getting everything together, you know, crossing my T's, dotting my I's, finalizing gift bags. I'm super, 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 super excited about it, and my attendees are excited as well. I think we have 6 remaining tickets. That's what we had as of yesterday, and I have not refreshed my numbers today. 6 tickets left. It's an all-day affair. Go to luxspaparty.com. You're going to get to have spa services throughout the day. We're going to have a guided meditation and stretch class. Y'all are too loud. We're going to have a guided stretch and meditation class. We're going to have a tea expert, Robin Boykin, come in, and a tea taster. She's going to talk to us about best teas for women to address certain health concerns, best teas served hot and cold, and then we're going to get to taste all the teas that she talks about. I'm serving you a full lunch. I'm going to serve you with the tea taster. We're going to have tea tiers there. At the end of the day, we're going to have light bites. We're going to have champagne and beverages flowing throughout the day. Again, I'm completely taking care of my guests that come to this. I said next week I'm talking about self-care and a work-life balance. This is a great opportunity for you to come and refill your cup so that you can take care of your clients to the best of your ability. Again, that event is on October 22nd. It starts at 10 a.m. It's going to go until 4:30 in the evening or afternoon. 6 tickets remaining. Go to luxspaparty.com and you can grab yours right now. Lastly, I just want to say thank y'all all so much for joining me. If you're catching the replay, comment replay. Y'all have an amazing, amazing Tuesday, and I'll catch y'all next week.